Just a second. A little bit longer. Just give me another minute or so. All right, I'm getting it down there. Getting it adjusted. Takes me just a minute to get there. All right. We'll see if it populates a little bit more. I got 2 viewers, I see. So hello, everyone. Wife's already put a mini underneath here. And then I'm also going to look at sample from Keith, the Multi-Man Cave. Great guy. This is a number 2. He just got labeled number 2, but it's a Cadenhead's Royal Lochnagar 19-year-old cast strength. So I know absolutely nothing about it, but I'm looking forward to giving that a try. Hey, George. How are you doing? Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit more. There we go. I'm trying to do these more consistently. Probably 2 weeks from now. Let me look at a calendar real quick. What's that going to work out to be? And George, I enjoyed your had to watch it on a playback because my daughter had a concert event yesterday. She's a senior. It's her last concert. She plays clarinets, played it all through junior high and high school. And it was at 2:00. And sorry, but that takes precedence over everything in my life. You only get to see them so long and then they're gone. May 7th. We'll shoot for May 7th. I have something on the 10th, I think. So 5:00 May 7th. Hopefully that'll work out for everyone. And we'll do it at 5 again then. I had the time screwed up on this one. This is the first time for me as well. Because there's a lot of things going on. May 7th, that's graduation week for my daughter. So we have a lot of things going on that week. But it should work out okay. Anyway, what the heck happened up here? Oh, I think I messed it up again. Let's do this. Yeah, I messed it up again. All right. I hope it's not lagging too bad. There's nothing I can do about my connection. Unlike Bart and Scott, they live in town, basically. So their connection and what they can do with it is much better. I have to suffer with whatever AT&T can bring out to me, which isn't a whole lot. Believe me, you're seeing the best this is ever. I may be moving I know this is neither here nor there, but it may change come July because we may have to move. Well, not may have to move. We're going to have to move. My wife took a job as a principal in another school district, so but we're not there yet. Anyway, I don't have all evening. I know you guys don't either. So, and George, I've been watching some of the posts you put. You think I find the good stuff? You've been finding some pretty good stuff out there too on Instagram. I notice your posts; they're pretty. You're doing rather well. Anyway, let's see what the wife put out for us. I have no idea, and that's the truth. I made her come do it, and I don't look, and so. Oh, wow. She picked the W.L. Weller Special Reserve, age 7 years in wood. Now, this one they don't make anymore. I don't know if the brightness will let you guys pick it up or not. Unfortunately, maybe not. Hopefully you can see it there. If I can hold it still enough. But anyway, this is the older Wellers. I stumbled upon this out in Colby, Kansas. They had their little mini, they have a box, a clear, I don't know what you would call it, plexiglass box made of plexiglass with all the minis in there. This was the only one they had along those lines. The top was tight. We do notice the fill level has dropped just a hair, but it's probably been in that box for several years. So anyway, but it wasn't in the sun. There's another place that has some pretty unique minis, but I don't like buying them because that box sits on the counter in a south window, and that sun just hits them, and a lot of them have very low fill levels. And they're older stuff, but I steer clear of those. But anyway, the cap was tight, so anyway, without further ado, let's get her started because Weller's pretty good stuff. I like it. I have probably had this in the past, I'll be honest. We'll just use it all. But the caveat is back then when I was drinking a lot of bourbon and stuff, back in the 80s and not so much in the 90s, I didn't very much. But especially late 80s, early 90s, I had a friend, Jeff Bush, and he drank a lot of bourbon. And he always had a lot, and it was always available. In the Army, I drank a lot of bourbon. So it's possible, I'm sure I may have had this and just, back then, I wasn't keeping count, checking the box of everything I had, you know. You just don't do that. So anyway, this ought to be good. Well, I'm telling you what, I don't know. I don't like the plastic in it. I just don't like plastic, but you know, it is what it is. And this is the day and age where most of it's put in plastic. Plastic's not brittle. So it's kind of held up. I think if it had been in sunlight, this might have been contaminated, but it smells good. You smell the wood. It's got just a little bit of alcohol burn on the nose. Get the burnt brown sugar. That's not burnt as in smelly burnt, but it's just a little past done when you're trying to turn it into caramel. It's just starting to get dark, and it's at the point where if you go any further, you're going to have a mess on your hands. So you got to pull it off then. Oh my goodness, it's good. This actually has a really good smell. Not so much cinnamon. I like more of a nutmeg in this one, and I may be wrong, but it comes across to me as more of a nutmeg. But it's very light. almost a bread dough. It really does have a sort of bread dough smell to it. And then you get the corn in the background, just a real sweet, faint whiff of corn. But the sweetness balances well with the spiciness. Oh my! Look at the legs on that baby. Huh. It doesn't smell like the 12. It don't smell like the Special Reserve either. I've got a bottle of the Antique I've never opened, and I need to get around to that. What is the ABV on this? 45%. There's a little bit of that oak varnish effect. You get the vanillas on the palate. You didn't get in the nose. The brown sugar's there, but it's not. It comes across the vanillas. The vanilla's knocking that brown sugar back, and you're getting more of just a brown sugar, like you open the bag of brown sugar and you stick your finger in there and stick a little bit in your mouth, which is good. You're getting more of that brown sugar flavor. The brown sugar, if I'm right, it has molasses. That's where the term I think brown sugar comes from, is it has a certain amount of molasses in it. Don't quote me on this, but if I remember correctly, I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook. I mean, I cook, but I'm not that's not my knowledge base. That's what gives brown sugar a little more unique flavor than just regular sugar. And that's what you get when I'm getting this. The finish is rather long, actually. It is very spirity. It has some wood in it. I have no idea what that's all about. Yep. I don't think the little bit of a lower level affected it at all. It's a good bourbon. Tastes a little younger than the 7 years marked on here. Or I've just been spoiled by better bourbons that's that age. It's got a good flavor profile, good long lasting flavor to it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I want to move on a little bit. I'll finish that later because we don't need to be on here forever. I don't got Bart and Scott. They can make it go on because they can entertain each other. It's just me entertaining you guys, and my entertainment value only goes so long. So, I should add some water. Again, the Cadenheads Royal Lochnagar. This comes from Keith at Malton Man Cave. Give it a little bit more now. I had that Glenmorangie Atlanta. I took it over to Bart Scott's earlier today. Watch that live stream if you haven't, guys. It is good. That is some good stuff. That is some, I mean, it is. It's probably one of the best bourbon cask scotches I think I've ever had. It's 19 years old and it is very good. Not getting much on the nose on this. The Weller. This is the Cadenheads. The Weller, I don't know if you, I'm not really going to score it because it's a mini. It's good. It's not something I can buy again. You're never going to buy the 7-year-old again. So it's not something I could sit here and say, would I buy it again? I would buy it again because if I saw it in the store in a bigger bottle, it would be more of a find at that point than something I'd really want to purchase and drink. It becomes something I put on my shelf and kind of the collector side of me come out. But it's good. It's an 80. Well, I'm not going to give it that kind of score. Let's just stick with the B. It's a B. It's definitely a B, B plus. It's not going to stand out as a great bourbon, but as a daily drinker and a solid bourbon, it's definitely good. But I got to let that go so I can get on the Cadenhead's Royal Lochnagar 19-year-old cask strength. And they didn't list a gosh, I keep getting this all over my table. Didn't list the alcohol by volume on this. I don't know. But I got no alcohol meeting the nose at all. I got vanilla. Touch of wood. Hey, Jason. How sample do you think the Weller? To venture a guess, I would say this came out of the late 90s, early 2000s. Will be a guess on this Weller, on the 7-year-old. I really don't know. I don't know enough about Weller's. Is never really. I never paid that much attention. If I'd have paid more attention back then, like I probably should have, I would know more about it. It's the 7-year-old special reserve, but it actually is age stated 7-year-old. See if I can show you again. See if it comes in. It ain't going to. But anyway, it's actually the special reserve. It's age stated when they still put an age statement on the special reserve. And it's good. It's not outstanding. Now I've got the. Thank you, Jason. It's fun to be there with them. They are a blast. It's always fun to be with Bart and Scott like that. Anyway, back to the Royal Lochnagar, the Cadenhead Royal Lochnagar. And that Atlanta I brought, like I said before, it is very good. Yeah, the 12-year-old's good. You'll like that, Jason. I probably still got 3/4 of my bottle left. I bought another bottle, and I bought it I seen another bottle, purchased it because I knew either Bart or Scott would want it, and I bought it. And I think Bart was the one who ended up with that one. When you can get it for the Weller 12-year-old, when you can get it for the $35, even $40 range, that's the price point of it. Over here, I mean, in Kansas, I can still find it for that occasionally. But I have also seen it for $60, $70, $100. And those prices, it's just, I know they're selling it on that Pappy Van Winkle juices similar to it and this and that and all that. But if you sit and you actually analyze the taste and what it is, the value for flavor to me is just, it's not beyond that $40 range. I can't see spending that. And it's kind of a cult thing now, and so a lot of people are spending a lot more money than what it's really the value of it is worth. But that's a free market system. I mean, people can make a dime, they'll turn a dime, and that's if they can. And unfortunately, I'm a drinker and not a dime turner. Although, I am somewhat of a collector too, but I really don't know if I don't collect to sell. Anyway, that's me. Oh, this Royal Lochnagar is finally opening up a little bit. I know nothing about it. Other than it says cask, what Keith wrote down was cask strength. Yeah, I see what you're 35 pounds, that'd be about $70 US. I always kind of figure 2 for 1, so that would be what we are paying. Most people are paying $7,200. You see it occasionally for 60 outside of certain states. Kansas, I've not seen that, but once I've seen a $60 bottle in Kansas. But you go down to Texas and even over to Louisiana, the prices just go up. And then I've seen or talked to people from California where it's just outrageous, over $100 easy. What's next has a vanilla, a very good vanilla, almost like an icing, a vanilla icing nose. Get no alcohol. Well, you get here, I'll buy the dram. You get here, Jason, I'll buy the dram. We'll have a good time. We'll definitely have a good time. There is a wood, and the wood is not kind to this. It's not a good wood smell. As it slowly opens up, let me give it a spin. I assume natural color. Again, I don't know ABV. This is a vanilla. It follows. This is a strong vanilla icing. That strange odor I was getting on the nose does not come through on the palate. This is like eating a vanilla cake with vanilla icing. There is just a little bit of alcohol on the back. Oh, see you later, George. It's enjoyable. I like this. Dang, it has a little different odor than it does on the palate. Almost allspice. That is different. A bit of grassiness, which is a common theme for most multi, but it's very faint. It just has the vanilla. I mean, the vanilla keeps building in this. It is a very good vanilla flavor. It's more of an allspice in the background. Good medium long finish. Rich. It lasts on the sides and the top of your tongue. Wow, this is good. This is. God, the nose is so slightly different. The nose is, it does not, I mean, I get vanilla on the nose, but not like I do on the palate. Yeah, this is that. Sure. I got 3 more samples from Keith. I got this Cadenhead Royal Lochnagar 19-year-old cask strength. He gave me a Yamazaki 12, and then I've got a Springbank 12 cask strength. And I think that one he put 56.5% on that. I've had the Yamazaki 18 at a Christmas party 3-4 years ago. It's been a while now. And I thought it was good. But that was the same night I had the original Macallan cask strength. And when liquor's provided free like that, I had 2 of the Yamazakis and about 3 of those Macallan cask strengths. of course, my wife drove home because she does not drink. But that Macallan Cask Strength, the old bottle, was very good. I've not had any of the classic cut. Can't make a comment toward it. But I like Macallan, so I'm going to say that's probably pretty good too. But you can't find the Cask Strength. If I could have found it, I'd have bought everything I would have seen in it. I like it that much. It's very rich, very good. But this is very nice. Thank you, Keith. I know you're not watching. I hope we watch it on the playback, but this is very good. That's the 2016 release from Springbank. I know when I smell it, I've never tasted it yet. But when I crack the bottle to smell it, this is how I explained it to Keith. It's as if my tongue wanted to climb out through my nose and down into the bottle. It was that good smell. But Springbanks are good. And I say that, and of all I've ever had is the Springbank 10. Yeah, the Springbank 10. All I've ever had is a standard Springbank, but it's a very good. I like it. I've never did a review on that. I'm going to have to do a review on that. Anyway, well, how long have I been on here? We don't want to make this go on forever. I don't know. Don't really say. I can't tell. So we'll wrap it up here in a couple minutes. Thank you, Jason. We're going to have to wrap it up. I got to go. My daughter's working the track meet, so I'm going to have to go up there and get her in about 10, 15 minutes. Because it is 5:28. She'll probably be done by about 5:45. She's working she's a senior in high school. It's the middle school track meet. She's working the shot put pit. So to work the discus. So I've done it for the last 3 years, I think it's been. I work one of the discus rings for the track meets. Well, guys, I'm going to have to call it. This is an A. This Cadenheads is an A easily. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you. If I was to make a guess at the ABV, I'm going to guess this is probably drinking. ABV comes in it. It's a 43% ABV to my palate, my taste, but I'm sure it's much higher than that. 46 to 50, I would really probably honestly guess, as they got cask strength on it. But to the palate, it does not come across that way. I'm sitting with some Glen Scotia. I've never had Glen Scotia. I would like to do that. I would like to have some Glen Scotia. I don't even know if I've ever seen Glen Scotia. Kansas. Talk to Barton Scott. I find a little bit more than what they get locally, but sometimes their connections get them more than I can find. But that's one I've not seen. Well, guys, this is A minus. This is good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. So thank you, Jason. George, you're already gone. And anybody else who's on that's not commenting, I thank you for coming in and watching the live stream. I appreciate it. And we'll do this again, not next Monday, but the Monday after, which I think I said was. Let me see if I can pull up a date on that. The 7th. So we'll try to do it again the 7th at 5. Now, that's always subject to change. If I get a call out, then I won't be able to. But anyway, thank you, and I enjoyed the time spent with you guys. Remember, the spirit in your glass isn't running from you. Take your time, sip it, and enjoy it. You'll be better for it. We all will. Everybody have a good evening.